Okay, hey everybody, this is Gavin Mountford here, and welcome to the Information Overwhelm webinar. This is mostly, and it is, I think, pretty much everybody who's here and will be here are people who have purchased Mark Harbert's No Fear video marketing system through our Networking Superstars team and also got access to all the bonuses that you had as well. So, you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit of information overload. And that's okay. Everybody goes through it at some point. And there's kind of a circle, a kind of a cycle of I'll draw it on here really quick. It's kind of like, you learn something. You can probably hopefully see my screen, but you learn something, and there's only so much you can take in, and then you forget a lot of the stuff, and you take more stuff on, but you're gradually going up. You're gradually going up, and maybe you take another course, or you watch a webinar, or you watch a video. But again, there's only so much you're going to be able to learn and retain in your mind, but you're getting better and better and better and better and better. And that applies to information overwhelm and, just having too much stuff to go through and too much to get through. And as I say, everybody has it. And as long as you can take a step back, and I'm going to give you a plan of how to actually implement these trainings, but as long as you can take a step back and just realize that everything is a process, it takes time. If you look at nature, you'll see that the trees that are probably standing in your garden or next to your house or near your house, they took years to build. The flowers and the plants that are outside now, they take months and months and months to grow. If you look at them in the winter and then watch as spring kicks in and just see some of the leaves start to come back and some of the flowers start to grow, and the water flowing back through the plants before they start to either fruit or flower, or they take time. So you've just got to realize that it's a journey, and it takes time. Now, talking about overwhelm, this is quite a funny. It's not really funny, but it kind of is a little bit. I right now feel overwhelmed and overloaded. And there's a very good reason for that. And many of you know that. And I appreciate you all bearing with me. But it happens to everybody. For me, I was flying high about 3 weeks ago, 2.5, 3 weeks ago. We were in the middle of the launch of No Fear Video Marketing System. I got everything planned out. I knew exactly what we were going to be doing after the launch. I'd got my morning routine. I'd got my evening routine. I'd got all these plans. And I was rushing around on the morning of, I forget, it was a Wednesday morning. I was rushing around the house, and for some reason I'd carry my breakfast cereal bowl up the stairs and ended up tripping over pretty much close to the top of the stairs and fell down on my bowl and cut my hands pretty badly. Or fortunately, it was just my left hand, but ended up having a pretty major operation on my first finger. The nerve had pretty much gone, and two tendons. So I've just been in reaction mode for the last 2 to 2.5 weeks, and all the things that I had planned kind of went out the window because I've got a splint on my hand right now. I cannot move my left hand. Basically, I can move it probably about 30%, but I used to teach guitar. I obviously touch type as well for my business. So it's one of those things that we all have to deal with at some point. So I cannot do anywhere near the amount of things that I want to do. And it's frustrating for me. I know it is. And the great thing, I guess, for me is that I used to teach productivity. I used to teach time management. So I know how to get myself out of this kind of mess or funk. It becomes a kind of a frustration. And I'm sure, as you start to learn more and implement more with your business, you're going to start to take more things on as well. Does that make sense? And can you all hear me still? And everything is making sense? Just let me know, and then we'll move on to the actual training. But I just wanted to kind of let you know that we all do feel that. Yeah, I'm getting a few yeses. Yes, all is good. All right, awesome. Okay, so what happens is with the No Fear video marketing system, you had a number of bonuses, and different people are in different places in the process. So you may never have been through any of my products before, or you may have been through the 6 steps and you may have implemented it. You may have other products as well. But essentially, there were a number of bonuses that you had. And I had messages from some people saying, Gavin, I love all the stuff you've given, but how am I ever going to get through it? And I think, would that be useful if I explained the best process to get through this? Would you want to know how to really get through all this training? Because essentially, if you look at everything you've got access to or will have access to, there's probably about 50 hours worth of content and 50 hours worth of training. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get through it, but you do not need it all at once. And I'm going to go through the online network marketer's blueprint, but this time I want you to look at this. This is the map, essentially, of ultimately how your business will be in a couple of years. It may take longer, it may take less time, dependent on how fast and how well you implement it. But essentially, you've heard the phrase knowledge is king. And yes, it is. You've got to learn stuff in order to implement it, in order to succeed. And the more knowledge you can get access to, the better. However, knowledge is not really king, because it's the implementation and the action that you take from the knowledge that you get. So if you were to, and I've had some people saying, hey, Gavin, can I have access to all the bonuses right now? And what we've been saying is, yes, you can. However, based on my experience of the last 10, 11, 12 years of being a full-time online marketer, you will probably fail if you get access to everything right now, because you cannot go through 50 to 60 hours worth of training in a few weeks. It's just not possible. Yes, you can go through it. You could watch the videos back to back for 2, 3, 4 weeks and never implement anything, but there's no benefit to that at all. The way that I do trainings and I succeed, and many of our team do, is they'll watch a training, they'll take action on it. They'll watch a training, they'll take action on it. They'll watch a training, they'll implement it. And at the end of the course, it may have taken you a month to get through the course, but you've implemented it and you're getting results from it. So the process of going through this, really, I've got there's about 6 different steps I'm going to give you. The first thing, and again, everybody's at a different level, so I'm just going to go through what I would give to a beginner as they're getting started. So the first thing you want to do is you have access, or you certainly should have access, to the 6-step sponsoring sequence pro. That was one of the bonuses, and that's the first bonus that we give. Now, the process that I teach is called the high touch, high tech, high profit process. And this is an incremental and a gradual learning process. So you start off with high touch, because if you're a network marketer, network marketing has always been done person-to-person, relationship building, one-to-one, offline. All we're doing is we're bringing it online. But the best way, and really the only way, to build a network marketing business and start to get results is by using the high touch process. And if you look at any of the people if you look at the person who you purchased No Fear from through our community, they used high touch. They spoke to you, they followed up with you, they messaged you, you replied. It was a relationship. And we've had some of our affiliates making $3,000-$4,000 from the launch. We've had probably 3-4 affiliates making $2,000-$4,000, and probably another 15 to 20 people making several hundred in commissions from the launch. So this process works incredibly well. And all they were doing, they were using the 6-step sponsoring sequence, and they were using the high touch process. So you do not need the high tech yet. You do not need the high profit process yet. That comes later. You have to focus. If you want to get results, and if you want to get results from my trainings and my process, you have to focus on the high touch first. You have to develop your community until you start getting results. So the first thing that I would recommend to anybody who's going through this is to go through the 6-step sponsoring sequence pro. Okay, and in the back office of the 6 steps, when you come to the 6 steps sponsoring sequence core training program, you've got, I think there's 7 different modules. There's 6 modules and then the blueprints. What I would actually do is go through the blueprints first, go through the module 1, which is magnetic content creator, and go through module 2, which is community capture code. This will teach you how to create your own community, your own warm market, and how to create content inside of that group. So that would be, let me just come back to my drawing here. So the first thing I would recommend really to do is to set up your community. If you don't have your own community set up yet, that's the first thing to do, is to go through the 6 steps, get your community set up, which is essentially your warm market, and start to build your community. Start to make friends with new people and attract people into your group. Now, there's 6 steps in the 6-step process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and your ultimate goal probably right now is to build your network marketing business. Now, as I said, network marketing has always been done person to person, relationship building, one-on-one. So that's what the high touch is going to be about. It's about the personal relationships. And I'll write these steps down afterwards. But the first 3 steps are: number 1, go through the blueprint module of the 6-step sponsoring sequence pro and understand the strategy. Understand how this whole process works. Number 2, go through content creation, module 1, and step 3 is to go through the capture module and set up your community. Once you've got that, you're going to understand how to create content. You're going to understand how to capture leads. You don't need to use technology yet at this point too much. You can use some of it, and it's taught in the 6 steps. But actually, the first thing I would recommend that you do, although you purchase the No Fear video marketing system, is actually go through the 6 steps, the first kind of 2 to 3 modules, in order to bring people in to your community, to take them through the process, ultimately to sponsor them into your network marketing business. So the next step, which is step 4, is to go through and implement the No Fear video marketing system and create videos in your community. Videos. As you go through my 6 steps, you'll learn how to create content, which means that you can create content that's written, you can create audio content, you can create short updates, or you can create videos. Now, because you're going through the No Fear video marketing system, rather than just go through it and learn it, actually take action and do it. Pull out your iPhone or your smartphone and record a video, post it in your community. Now, if you've got no members in your community yet, that's okay. I would recommend just go through the process, record some videos, create some content anyway, and you're going to be able to start to get more members in your community. If you've got no members in your community, then this is traffic. What I recommend is implement the No Fear video marketing system and learn how to use YouTube and video to get more subscribers on your YouTube channel and to send them to your community. So give them a link in your description or in your video to your community. And you'll need to shorten that link, probably make it a pretty link or a good looking link. Because if you try to give your Facebook group link to people through a video, it's going to be something like facebook.com/groups/614752271, and nobody's ever going to click that, or nobody's ever going to type that into the browser. So you're going to want to actually create like a short link for it that's memorable. Does that make sense so far? I'm not sure if this was what you were expecting that I was going to be talking about, but this is how I would do this with the information that you've got. Does that make sense? Type into the box. I'm not getting too much feedback from you guys, so maybe it's because you might be watching on phones. Just let me know. Yes. Okay, keep typing, keep coming. This is an engagement type webinar as well, so I can bounce off you. Is this what our coaches will teach us? Karen says, yes. Coaches being kind of the people that referred you. Yeah, kind of. When you say coaches, if you go through the 6 steps, it's all in there. All the training's in there. Everything that I teach you is there as well. But you can reach out to the person that you purchased from, and they'll guide you as well. So essentially, focus on video as the next part of the process once you've got your community set up. Because the biggest mistake that people make is they buy a course and they buy a training. Let's just say it was Mark's video system, and it's like, they go through it, and it's kind of, they're putting the cart before the horse and trying to drive traffic to something that you don't really have. So once you've got your community set up, it means you've got something that you can drive people to. So you're then using your videos that you're learning how to do. You're using your videos in 2 different ways. Number 1, here, which is engagement videos in your community to get people to talk and have a conversation with them and to deliver value. And number 2, to drive traffic. And Mark teaches how to use YouTube and video sites to drive traffic to a capture page. Now, you don't need a capture page immediately. You don't need it. You can set it up if you want to, and Mark teaches that in the training, but you don't actually need it yet. I recommend focus on building your community up first, your Facebook group, which is the high touch part of the process. And then once you've got 500 members in your community, so I'm going to say 500 members. Once you've got 500 members in your community, plus you're making money, plus you've personally sponsored 4 people into your network marketing business, then it's time to move on to the next stage. Okay, so really, you do not need a Traction Marketing Academy, which is my high-tech process. You do not need that until you've implemented the 6-step Sponsoring Sequence Pro and until you're using and implemented the Mark's video system. Once you've implemented that and now you're creating content, you're capturing leads in your community every day, you're connecting with your leads, you're getting engagement in your community, you're communicating, and you're closing, meaning you're sponsoring people, you're making sales. You do not need any of the other stuff. And I talk about this in the Online Network Marketers Blueprint video that I teach, that many of you have probably seen. You actually don't need this here. You don't need this, 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 you don't need any of this. You shouldn't be trying to build multiple streams of income yet until you're getting at least 500 people in your community. Okay, I know many of you on here have communities and you're not at this stage yet. If that's the case, you do not need the high tech yet. Okay, you do not need a Traction Marketing Academy yet. If you haven't personally sponsored 4 people into your business, why not is the question. Okay, so you're generating leads, yes. You're connecting with people, you're getting engagement with people, you're communicating with people, but you're not closing people yet. Okay, this is where you're falling down, and this is where you can do with some improvement. So let me just I'm going to take you through the second step, or the second part of the process in a second. But right now, you want to go through the first few modules of the 6 steps, which is the Blueprint module, the Create module, and the Capture module. Then you want to go through Mark's video system. And as you're going through Mark's video system, you're going to find that you start to generate new people in your community. Now, you can't do the connecting, the commenting, the communicating, and the closing if you don't have people in your community. So until you start to get new members in your community, I would not even bother going through modules 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the 6 steps, because you can't connect and and get engagement and communicate and close people that you don't have in your community. So really your goal, once you've set up your community, is to start driving traffic into your community. So you're getting 1 to 2, maybe 3, 4, or 5 leads a day. Once you're getting a couple of leads a day, go through the rest of the 6 steps. And the next step is connecting. The next step is getting engagement. The next step is having a conversation and then closing people. You've got to do it gradually. Look at it as kind of like a weekly thing. If you spread this out over 12 weeks and you implemented this whole thing within 12 weeks and you had 500 people, 500 leads in your community after 12 weeks, you had a YouTube channel that was generating you were generating videos and was sending traffic to your community. After 12 weeks, you were generating free leads. It would be worth it. And you haven't even moved to the second stage yet, which is the technology side of things. Would you agree that it would be worth it? Again, let me know in the comments, and then I will answer any questions. Just save your questions if you can, so I don't jump around too much. All right. Hopefully that does make sense. So what I recommend once you've got 500 members in your community, once you're making money, and I'm talking about a few $100s or more, and once you've personally sponsored 4 people, you can, if you want to, then contact our support desk and get access to Attraction Marketing Academy. Now, Attraction Marketing Academy, you don't need it to build a full-time income, but you can have it to generate multiple streams of income and automate a lot of the process. And very soon I'm going to be creating something called Top Producers Academy, where I'm actually going to be coaching you through this whole process live. It's going to be immense, let's put it that way. And it's going to be about 90% automating your business. And I'm going to take you through 4 different stages. But rather than you kind of struggling to do it on your own, I'm actually going to be guiding you through the process live. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's probably going to be a couple of months away until that gets done. So really, I would recommend just go through what you've got access to now, go through the video system, Mark's video system, and go through the 6 steps, implement it, get 500 people in your community. Because if you're not generating leads in your community, you can go and start to create videos, which will help you get more leads. Okay, let's just check. Makes sense? Okay, perfect. Okay, let's move on. Let's just say that you're, even after 30 days of creating videos, you're still for some reason not generating leads in your community. If you're generating less than 5 leads a day using video after 30 days, what I would recommend is come back to us and get access to my Facebook ads, my daily Facebook traffic system. Now, you probably got the note I posted in the I emailed everybody a while ago saying that Facebook updated its back office and its ads interface probably a month or so after I created the trainings, which is a bit of a pain. So some of the tutorials and the trainings that I go through to show you how to set up the ads have changed. The interface has changed. However, the strategy is exactly the same. So the strategy that I lay out in that course is exactly the same no matter what the interface of Facebook's like. But it just means, when I show you how to create a page post engagement ad or a leads ad, sometimes the back office is different to what I show you. I am going to be updating this in the near future, and you will have access to the new course. But again, you do not need this course yet until you've implemented Mark's trainings and gone through it. But I would say that would be the next thing that you want. If you're only once you're generating 5 to 10 leads a day in your community, to be honest, that's when you start to move up to the high tech, because you won't be able to manage more than 5 and 10 leads a day, because you're going to take people through a 6-step process that's going to take a little bit of your time. And many of our ambassadors now have got past this. They've come past this process. Some people are not making money yet, and that's just some challenges that they have with regards to closing people. Whereas other ambassadors are making thousands and thousands of dollars every single month because of this process. So, it all comes down to how much belief you have in yourself and what you apply. Okay, so the next part, let me just change my pen color. I'll go blue. All right, so the next part is really Attraction Marketing Academy. Once you've got this process set up, this is probably going to be a little bit much for you right now. It may not be. I mean, you may understand this, but this might go over your head, essentially. One goal that many people want is they want MSI, multiple streams of income. So they want to make money from, high ticket. Maybe you have a product or a service or a program that you're an affiliate of that you make thousands of dollars in commissions. Maybe you've got something like that in addition to your network marketing business. Maybe you want to sell other people's products, just like we did with Mark's. So you want affiliate income. Maybe you want to earn some monthly residual income, so monthly continuity, which we use MLSP or My Lead System Pro. Many of our members are making a significant income from that whilst they're focused on building their network marketing business. Or maybe, just like some of our members, and like I do, you want to sell your own info products. Now, at some point in the near future, I am going to create a whole training program on how to create your own information products, how to create your own coaching program. In fact, some of that's going to be woven into the Top Producers Academy. But again, that's not necessary to think about right now. So some people, once you're starting to make some money, you've got 4 people signed up in your business, you've got 500 people in your community, and you're making money, you're then going to want to go and implement some of these, and you're going to want to make income from several different income sources. So this is where you'll go through Attraction Marketing Academy. So the process for the automation is the same front-end process. So we still generate traffic. So you're still going to need your videos. You're still going to need your Facebook ads. You're still going to have your community to generate traffic to various things. You will have your fan page and different social media channels. Okay, so this is part of the automation. You want to automate as much of this as possible. So you create content, which you'd be doing anyway, whether it's a Facebook update, whether it's a blog post, whether it's a video. You'll send people here to a capture page. Now, this is where it gets a bit different. Capture page. Now, a capture page is something like, let me just show you this, something like the Online Network Marketers Blueprint. This is a capture page. Okay, and somebody clicks here and they enter their name and email address into a web form, and they go through into something called an autoresponder sequence, and you capture that person as a lead. Now, many of you may know this already. What we do in Attraction Marketing Academy is I show you how to, I call it the triple lead method. So your prospect comes into the capture page and they get added to your email list automatically. Okay, they automatically get added to your email list, which means that you can then send out follow-up emails automatically to your prospects. So you only need to create your emails once. So let's say you have email number 1, email number 2, email number 3, email number 4, 5, 6, and 7. So what Attraction Marketing Academy does is it teaches you how to write this email sequence. So once you've written it once, it's automatic. So all you focus on is, and this is again is what we're going to teach in Top Producers Academy. Let's just say you have your YouTube videos, which are generating leads automatically every single day. So you generate leads through the content that you've created, sends people into a capture page like I just showed you, and those people get added to your email list automatically. Okay, next what happens on the thank you page, this is what I teach in Attraction Marketing Academy, on the thank you page, there's an opportunity for people to join your community. Okay, this is all done automatically. So you get the email list built, or you're building your email list, which becomes an asset. It means you can send emails to your people often. People get added to your community, which means you can work them through the 6 steps. What then happens, and remember, if this doesn't make too much sense, you're not ready, you're not here yet. I'm just showing you the big picture. This is the high tech. You do not need any of this. You don't even need to think about this until you've got 500 people in your community. And really, this should be 3 to 6 months down the line before you even start thinking about this. Okay, one way that I use is in order to make multiple income streams from other products and services, you need to build a relationship with your people. So my automatic emails, and if you've been through any of my sequences before, email number 1, which is automatic, normally goes through a value video. So I teach something in a value. I teach something of value to my prospects after they've entered their email address in the capture page. So I teach something of value, and normally I do a video. This is where the video marketing system comes in useful. Email number 2, I'll normally send people to a value video where I'll teach them something based on the topic that they've come into to receive from. Okay, value, this is value 3 and value 4. Okay, I normally do 4 videos in a sequence, and this is then automated. So once it's created, you never have to create it again. So whilst you're communicating with people in your community and you're taking people through the 6 steps, in parallel to that, there's also an email sequence that people are receiving every day and some extra training videos that are giving out value to bring them back to your community or to sell something else. So to sell My Lead System Pro or sell a product or something like that in an email sequence. Okay, have I lost anybody yet? Now, this was supposed to be a webinar about how to deal with information overload, and I am giving you a ton of information. But remember, we're doing it gradually, we're doing it in stages, and this whole process that I'm teaching you right now, in total, the high touch, high tech, high profits, should take you 1 to 2 years to implement. 1 to 2 years to implement. Okay, it's going to make sense to some people, and some others it's going to go right over your head. But again, hopefully, if you did miss the first part of this webinar, you'll be able to go back and watch the replay where we talk about all you need to do right now is the high touch. The third step, well, say the third part of the triple lead method, which we use here. So the first thing is they get added to an email list. The second thing is the person joins your community. And the third thing is something called retargeting, which is on Facebook. So your prospects then see an advert on Facebook pretty much whenever they log in, which means that you're always in your prospect's mind. Remember, this is all automated. So you set it up once and it's automated. 90% automated, this process is. And then the goal here is to close people using an automated process. Okay, the other thing that we talk about a little bit in Attraction Marketing Academy is the application process. And in order to sponsor people into a business, you need to be speaking to people on the phone, but you don't really want to be chasing people. You want people to come to you and fill out an application. Then you're speaking to qualified prospects. Okay, so as I say, this is going to take you months to set up. There's 2 types of income. There's today money and there's tomorrow money. Today money is, you'll generate today money by using the 6 steps, by getting new people in your community, by working them through the 6 steps, and by sponsoring people into your business or making sales of other products. That's how many of our members now are making their today money. But there's only so much time people have. People like Laura, who's only got a couple of hours a day to work on her business. At some point, Laura, just like many other people, are going to need to look at using some kind of automation. So then you can manage many more people and you can scale your business. But again, we're focused on the high touch. Okay, high profits is really, it's stage 3. So this is stage 1, this is stage 2, this is stage 3. This is where the team site stuff comes into play. Team site traffic, or my 7-figure team system. And to be honest, we've had some people saying, hey, Gavin, I want to get access to your team site traffic now. So we ask, have you got a team? No. Okay, so how are you going to leverage a team to build your business if you haven't got a team yet? I've created this training program incrementally, so you work through this first. You get 500 people in your community, you're making money, you sponsor at least 4 people into your business. Then you can move on to the implementation. Remember that whilst you're going through Attraction Marketing Academy, going through the 12 weeks, you're probably not going to be doing the 6 steps because you're going to be distracted with something else. You're going to be setting up your technology. So you kind of lose your today money then. But that's okay because you're making money for tomorrow. So your high profits, which is team site traffic, you do not need until you have a team of at least 10 people. More to the point, until you've personally sponsored 10 people. Once you've personally sponsored 10 people, then you can leverage this whole process, put a border around the whole thing. You can teach your team this process and you can create your own team website. And then your team can use this process as well. So now you have 10 to 20, maybe 30 people all driving traffic to one team website. And you've got a lot of traffic coming in. So this is why with the bonuses, there is, what do we have? We've got the 6 steps. That's what I would say focus on first. The second thing to focus on is the no fear video marketing system, and kind of work the 6 steps and no fear hand in hand until you get at least 500 members in your community, until you're making money, and until you've sponsored at least 4 people. Then come back to us, email us at support and say, hey, Gavin, I've got 500 members in my community now. Can I get access to Attraction Marketing Academy? But you've got to be making money and you've got to have sponsored people yourself. Otherwise, you're not implementing what you've learned from the 6 steps. Then you can come back and say, hey, I've sponsored 10 people. I've got a community of around 1,000 people now. I think I'm ready for team site traffic. And then you can get access to that. The Freedom Acceleration Formula live webinar is going to be done in the next month or so. Unfortunately, I've been put back quite a while with my hand, so I can't do what I wanted to do. So please bear with me for this, but you will get access to this, and I will be doing this because it's part of our plan for the future. The Facebook ads system, again, you have access to this, or you can have access to this, but I recommend implement what you've got, which is the video marketing system and the 6 steps. You should be able to, if you think about it, you've got video marketing and you've got Facebook ads marketing. There's 2 completely separate topics there. Each one is going to take you weeks to implement and to learn it well and to implement it fully. So you can only focus on one traffic strategy. I recommend focusing on the video traffic strategy because it's current, it's up to date. Mark he's built the program. And you're going through it right now. Use what you've got to get traffic and start to build your community before you move on to any of this. Just having a look. Okay, if you've got any questions, just type them into the box now and let me know any questions that you have or any feedback, or if this makes sense or if this doesn't make sense. Because whilst I've given you a lot of information, I've kind of hopefully simplified the process for you. Okay, let me just have a look. So Richard says, I'm just going to go back through some of your questions. Is this for a specific network marketing program or general overview system? Richard, can you just explain what you mean there? This is just general. I mean, this is not promoting any network marketing business. Whatever company you're promoting, you can use this process for. Okay, this is the complicated version that I've complicated. Well, not complicated. This is the advanced version. Let's put it this way. You do not need half of this to get results. Most of our ambassadors have not set up their automated funnel. All they're doing is what's in red. They're just doing traffic from one source. They're creating content. They're capturing leads in their community. They're connecting with their leads. They're commenting and getting engagement. They're communicating and having a conversation, and then sponsoring people into a network marketing business, and sometimes sponsoring people into an affiliate program or a monthly. Okay, let's have a look. Awesome. Traffic coming straight into the community is a key idea, Dave says. Yeah, definitely, it's important. For stage one, yes. Traffic coming into capture page is actually the best method. Afterwards, the more advanced method, but I promise you, you do not need to do that. You don't need to think about the capture page until you're starting to build your community, because the people that join your community are going to be warm leads, and it's going to be so much easier to get people in the capture page later. Okay, I'm just going to scroll back through, have a quick look, and then we'll wrap up. Alex says, is it meaning one primary business? Yeah, network marketing business or primary business. Yeah, focus on that for now. Lisa says, are you saying we do the blueprint modules 1 and 2 and then do all of Mark's training before we move on to anything else? Yes, Lisa, I recommend that. I mean, if you go through Mark's training, and let's say you only go through the first 3 modules, and yet you're still able to generate 10 leads a day, you don't necessarily need to go through it all if you don't want to. There's many training programs that I take bits and pieces from different programs. I don't necessarily complete every single training program that I buy. I'll go through, I'll pull out the bits that I need, I'll implement it until I'm getting the result that I want. You know that you've got to create content in order to drive traffic into your community. You've got to have people in your community before you can connect and get engagement and have a conversation. And you've got to have taken people through a conversation before you can close them, essentially. So take the bits that you need. If you're struggling with if you've got people in your community, if you've got engagement, but you're not closing people, then that's the area you need to focus on. Everything else is good. You just got to put your focus on the close. Okay, perfect. Good stuff. All right, well, let's wrap up. It's 1:45. Any questions you have, post in our group. Yeah, I appreciate you bearing with me at the moment. It may take me a couple of longer to reply to any messages. I've got other people doing things for me as well, which is great, helping me out. Just because with only having one hand and at the moment, or use of one hand, and being able to touch type, it can be a little bit frustrating. So I'm applying a lot of the stuff that I know already to kind of get myself back on track. It's been a couple of weeks now since this happened, and it's just catching up with things and getting things back to normal again. So we're getting there. Awesome. No, thank you. Thank you to everybody who's been here as well. And thank you for all the kind comments and remarks. If you've sold any copies of the No Fear Video Marketing System yourself, make sure your people get access to this webinar so they can watch it as well. All right. And just make sure they know that, yes, they've got access to everything, but if they try to go through everything now, you're just going to be completely overwhelmed, completely. You've got to do it gradually in stages. Okay, I will see you soon. Take care. Cheers. Bye.